Welcome to WXYZ.com. We started this conversation with Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Jefferson on Spotlight on the News, but we wanted to do a little special something for WXYZ.com because his story is so special, so unique, and such a true American hero story. He's written a new book. The book is called Red Tail Captured, Red Tail Free. He is a member of the Tuskegee Airmen, and he is a survivor of World War II. He was a prisoner of war. Hopefully people know the story of Tuskegee Airmen. If they don't, they'll know it after they see the new movie Red Tail that George Lucas has spent 20 years making. But oftentimes the question gets asked, how good were the Tuskegee Airmen, the real Tuskegee Airmen?
There are men who rose to the occasion. They were expected to fail. But of course, as usual, black men always excel when put to the test. We were under pressure. We had to fight for the right to fight for this country. We were supposed to fail. It was a so-called, quote, an experiment. They wanted to see if black men...
Almost like you were a test case.
It was a test case. And we rose to the occasion and came out on top. Our record proves it. The number of missions, 15,000 missions.
You never lost a bomber.
That's a little bit of a myth.
Okay, because we've heard it. We'll clear it up for us.
We did some research.
Okay.
We went down and investigated the mission reports from the bombers. And we found out we lost 25 to 30 bombers to German fighters during the entire war.
During the entire war.
Other groups, the white groups, lost anywhere 500, 600. We stayed with the bombers. We lost some very few.
In the movie, you could tell that the white bomber pilots were reluctant to have you all flying for them and escorting them when it first started, until you guys proved that in tough times you stayed with them and that you brought them back alive. But that changed a lot of just relationships between you on the ground as well. You couldn't come into the officers club at first, but eventually they welcomed you into the officers club?
Exactly. They saw us coming. Come on in for a drink, you red tails, because we brought them back. Let's face it, many times. It has been proven.
What was the treatment like for you when you were captured, when you had to go down and you were...
I was treated in Germany as
captured by the Germans.
As an officer. No beatings, no torture because of the Geneva Convention.
So they followed the rules of the Geneva Convention.
And I was treated like any other officer. When I got to Stalag Luft 3, there were 10,000 white officers. I literally set the war out, Chuck. No beatings, no torture, and
General Benjamin O. Davis.
A disciplinarian.
How important was he to the success of the Tuskegee Airmen?
B.O. Davis, Benjamin Oliver Davis, we call him B.O., was instrumental in success. We had a diversity of personalities. You talk about personalities. We had 5 kinds of Smiths, pilots. Lawyer Smith, lying Smith, fantastic Smith, romantic Smith, oh, he had more girlfriends. Preacher Smith, one of the minutes. All these different types.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. And it had B.O. Davis, disciplinarian. When he said, I want you here at 0900, he meant 8:45, 15 minutes early, where you walk in prepared, rather than get there and wait and say, oh, let me, no. B.O. Davis said, stay with the bombers.
How were you treated, Lieutenant Colonel, once you came back to America after the war?
Walking down the gangplank in New York's harbor, whites to the right and Negroes to the left. Back to segregation, discrimination in 1945. They're still lynching blacks.
That had to anger you.
Well, yes, but you become angry, but you don't let it get inside of you. Because once you get anger on the inside, you forget what you're going to do. You're just conglomerated. You lose. You don't do your homework. You're late for official business. So you get back to the business, and you get yourself involved in your objectives.
Lieutenant Colonel, I could sit and talk to you all day long about this. There's so much history, but unfortunately we can't do that. But we will encourage people to pick up your book.
Yes.
Red Tail Captured, Red Tail Free.
Watch Margot. Margot was my girlfriend. She sent me, by the way, she sent me a Dear John letter.
Is that right?
Somebody took care of Margot. I don't know who it was. But heck, there was Mary.
And hopefully they'll support the movie.
Margot was in Washington. Mary was in Atlanta. Marguerite was in Detroit. Didn't make much sense.
I think we better get off the air right about now before you get yourself in trouble. And hopefully people go support the movie, the George Lucas film, Red Tail, the true story of the Tuskegee Airmen. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for joining us on WXYZ.com.
Thank you.